All right, so what is a J? This is going to be the opposite video of what is a P, right? So a J is in the Myers-Briggs land. It's usually talking about this kind of controlling, tribe-beating asshole. So you're familiar with like an ISTJ or INTJ or ESTJ or ENTJ, and so you're getting this kind of feel of this controlling tribe person, right? And so what we have found is that archetype is very true. We will use the term J in our personal life because it's not necessarily technically true all that often. But somebody who is very controlling and likes to browbeat the tribe, that is what we will call a J. So let's kind of look at the math here. So you have your standard Myers-Briggs IJs and EJs. Now remember, Myers and Briggs is just assuming that your top two functions are your savior functions. And that's true for half the population we found. So for half of the IJs out there, half of the EJs out there, this J archetype or this J stereotype is going to apply to them. They're going to be controlling. They're going to want to organize over gather, and then they're going to want to browbeat the tribe with it. Why? Because they're looking for the validation from the tribe. So they're going to go hammer on the outside world because they need that validation and they want that validation for the tribe. And what we have found when you combine that internal organizer, the SI or the NI, with the extroverted decider, the TE or the FE, we call it blast. And so they're taking their known information and they're blasting it out to the tribe, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm taking my known information and then I'm hammering you in the face with it. So these J's have blast first. That's their top two functions are their savior functions. But now also you can get half of the EJs out there and half of the IJs aren't as blasty. And some even will have blast last because you'll have some of the EJs, half of the EJs out there are going to be TE or FE at the top, but then they're going to skip that second function and go down to their third function and be SE or NE. And so now they're going to be what we call play because they're combining the two extroverted functions. They're going to want to gather from the outside world and then go share that with the tribe. So they don't want to beat the tribe with their controlling shit. They want to play with the tribe with what they've gathered, right? And then on the IJ group, you'll have the IJs that now go more of the IP route or the self above tribe route, where you'll have the IJ who's controlling, NI or SI at the top, but then they jump that extroverted decider and they go to their identity. So they're going to want to control stuff for themselves, not control stuff for the tribe, control stuff for themselves. And we call that sleep energy because it's now double introverted inside world. It's opposite of play. One is preserving energy, one is expending energy. Just like consume and blast with the P's, consume is taking in information, and blast is shooting out information. So the IJs that are sleep, let's say NI and FI, they're having a lot of conversations with themselves. And that's where, again, kind of rolling into another Myers-Briggs stereotype here, is the true introvert would be that double introvert, and then the true extrovert would be that double extrovert. And then even from there, there's variations within that, right? So a P is just an IP or an EP that have their savior functions on the top two functions, and therefore they're getting that consuming information for the self. And then a J is just somebody who is a IJ or an EJ, and they're, again, their savior functions on their top two functions. So they're taking their known organized information, their SI or their NI, whether it's first or second, and they're using it to browbeat the tribe because they have TE or FE first or second, and therefore we call them blasters, and they will create that J archetype, much like the Myers-Briggs has kind of stereotypically described.